In this video, we will be covering the fundamentals of art in pixel format. Pixel art in upon itself is not an art style, but instead a medium to express your art style in any way, shape or form. For this tutorial, we will first be looking at lines, how to make basic lines, how to tilt them and manipulate them, also how to make curves. Let us begin. So, to start off, let's draw a single pixel. In upon itself, it just looks like a little block, but once you start stacking them up together, you begin with a line. Very simplistic. Lines like these are easy to draw, and one of the most common lines you'll probably be using. However, another common line is a 45-degree angle. This can be done by lining them up like so. However, in between these two lines there is a whole gradient of different lines. We can be shifting it by 1 pixel. To start tilting the line, we can take it a little bit more. Let's say like this. And let's take it a bit more, like this. And with each iteration, the line starts tilting more and more to the side. The next one is a bit more difficult. Basically, we have one line, one pixel by 2 pixels by 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on. And then we also have 2 pixels like so, 2 like so, 2 like so, and so, to create the final line before our 45-degree angle. While this may seem simple, it is one of the most valuable tools to use. Of course, lines in upon itself will not be enough to make your pixel art. You will also need to make curves. For this example, let's use a spiral. We will start off by making a line, much like one of these we've already made, and slowly start changing between the variations. We're starting off with this one, now we're moving to this one to create a curve. Now we're going to bend it a little bit more. And we have our spiral. If we zoom out, you will see it's a alright looking spiral. It could be better, but we'll work on it with time. Next up, let's have a look at some shapes. One of the most common shapes as well would be a circle. We can make a simple circle, or represent a circle rather, by a single cube, or a single pixel. This will be used once you zoom out or use a project with a lot of very small details. Of course, if you go 2 by 2 pixels, you will only have a square. Let's try 3 by 3 pixels and see what happens. We have a square again. However, this time we will be erasing each of the corners at the sides. And there we have a circle. Let's go 4 by 4 pixels. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we will be erasing each block on the sides to give us our first proper circle. Going up in scale, 5 by 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This example is a little bit more complicated. The moment we start to delete the side blocks again, as we did previously, you will see that it looks more like a square, as opposed to a circle. So for this example, we'll be adding another block on the inside as well, and deleting the outside blocks again. looking like a sideways square. This will be the most accurate representation of a circle in a 5x5 pixel block. Moving on to 6x6. Here we will be looking at a block that looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it will represent a nice little circle. The higher you go in resolution, the more detail you can put in a certain image. Of course, the lower resolution you work with, the easier it will be to represent large images with small pixels, like representing an entire eye with just a single pixel. Next, let's try a triangle. Again, one by one, we will only have a block. Two by two, we will have sort of a triangle. 3 by 3 pixels, we will have our first almost triangle. It looks like more a Tetris block there. Let's try 4 by 4. Same result. 5 by 5 is where it gets interesting, because we have our first proper triangle. We can always scale it up more if we have a need to do so. Our next shape will be a heart. Now, a heart would be a combination of lines like this for the bottom and curves like this for the top. So let's give it a go. First, for the bottom, we will be using 4 pixels. Number 4 pixels. I'm counting this one twice, by the way. Let's make a line down, another line down, line like so, so, and a pixel to finish it off. A little heart. Now, for your assignment, what I want you to do is continue with the circle, making it larger by 1 pixel at a time, as I did before. You don't have to go all the way up to 8K resolution, but making a few of these will definitely help you making circles. I would recommend doing the same for the triangles. And as for the spiral, would also be a good exercise. Try and make it as big as possible, going as small as possible. As for the lines, what I want you to do is make a line like this, and turning it all the way till you get it vertical like this. In the next video, we will be looking at colors and shading, how to put some color on our images and how to shade them.